All right, this is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court on October 15th, 2020. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 25 related to coronavirus, we're not conducting in-person court proceedings, but we're using a reasonable alternative, which is Zoom. No portion of this court proceeding may be recorded or copied or published. Violations are punishable by contempt of up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. I think I'd informed the department that if all the people are wishing to participate in the proceedings need to have their cameras on. However, if you just wish to view it, you can go to the YouTube channel. So please do turn your cameras on. Disables, could you please turn your camera on? Mr. Berger, who is Baldredden? Badvrelden. All right. So, all right, Baldredden, this is your last chance.
Your Honor.
Yes?
I do believe that is the name of juvenile I'm representing's father.
Okay. That's fine. He just has to have his cameras on. I don't mind him being here. He has to have his camera on though. Here, go ahead and remove him then. Looks like either removed himself or joined the camera. All right. So we're going to start with Bazan. John Bazan. Is that you, John?
Yes.
All right. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days and I have to decide whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent and you have a right to an attorney. For the purpose of this hearing, we've appointed Mr. Gladstone as your attorney. Mr. Gladstone, can you introduce yourself? He's not here. All right, Mr. Berger, I'm going to ask you to fill in for Mr. Gladstone today. Mr. Houston, did you want to say something?
Yes, client's grandma was involved in a minor car accident. She was on her way to the hearing.
Okay.
So.
Is she okay?
Yes, she's fine.
Okay, that's the important part. All right. So, John, so you're 14 years old. You were first brought here back in August for an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. You're placed on probation. And 2 weeks, well, while you have a pending case, you get arrested for evading arrest, as well as a theft of property and an unauthorized use of motor vehicle. You're placed on probation September 14th, so exactly 1 month ago. And then yesterday you were brought in, let's see, according to police, on October 15th, there's a felony stop for a stolen vehicle. During the investigation, they identified you and there's an active warrant for criminal mischief. You're seeing on August 8th. That predates the original offense. They were dispatched for a runaway offense when they were recovering a runaway female. Made contact with their boyfriend, which is you. You gave the wrong name at the time, wrong name. You're upset that girlfriend was in custody and threw rocks at the police vehicle, causing damage. When the police were leaving, you approached the vehicle and punched the passenger side window twice. Since they had a female in custody, they did not arrest you at the time, but then they issued a warrant. The damages to the vehicle was $301.58. So, back in August, we gave you a drug test, you're positive. This time we brought you in, you refused the drug test. Mr. Bazan, I think you need to understand that a refusal of a drug test, I just assume you're positive for cocaine, heroin, LSD, everything, all right? So that's, at this point, that's the presumption that I have, that you're using every drug on the surface of this planet. And so since you're on probation using drugs, I'm gonna go ahead and detain you. Thank you. All right, Brianna Carrera. All right, Brianna, I was hoping I wouldn't see you again. You understand your rights. We've seen each other many times before. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And you have a right to a hearing every 10 days if I keep you here. All right, Brianna, let's see what's going on. You just turned 17 this week. You're on probation for engaging in organized crime and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. So yesterday you turned yourself in. See, on October 9th, we received a report from Arlington Police that they were called to a drive-by shooting at kids, and the kids returned fire at the Chula Vista Apartments in Arlington. They saw a parked vehicle with bullet hole damage. The first witness said they were going home when they heard gunshots. She saw a 14 or 15-year-old Hispanic male holding a silver handgun. She noticed because he was the only one outside. She said he hid behind some vehicles, noticed a black car, ran toward it. He then heard some more shots, saw the black vehicle speed off. Second witness said that he and his girlfriend were watching TV when a projectile came through the window, hitting his TV stand. There were 3 small kids in the apartment, but not in the bedroom. Third witness says he was with the suspect and 2 other Hispanic males when a red Mustang convertible driven by Brianna pulled up. It says Hispanic male got out of the car, began shooting in their direction, and this is when they shot back. All right, Brianna, you and I, you know me well enough. Let's see, we'll give you a drug test and you're negative, which is good. So I know you moved out of county, but you kept on coming back. I guess you got a job here in Tarrant County and going to school here. And your parents wanted to move because they felt like it was good for you to be out of Tarrant County. But that was part of the deal, is that you said you were going to leave Tarrant County already, and you're still coming back. And so you've been through enough of my detention hearings. You know what my policy is when there's guns involved, especially when guns are used and people are shooting. And so I feel like you're a danger to yourself and the community. I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Yes, Brianna.
Could I talk to my lawyer, please?
I'm sorry?
Could I get a separate meeting with my lawyer, please?
No. I mean, you can talk to your lawyer anytime you want, but that's not going to change my mind. I'm going to detain you because you're getting involved with people with guns. I do not believe that kids should be around guns unsupervised. That's a decision that you made, allegedly. And so I've been very consistent. You and I have known each other for about 2 years now, it seems like. And this whole time, the whole time, every time I come across a kid with a gun, the initial reaction for me is to detain them to make sure that things are safe. Things are not safe with you. Yes.
And Miss Joanna told me that in the report, they said I didn't have a gun.
Yes, but you were involved. A witness identified you as a driver in carrying somebody to a shooting and then driving off, right? So somewhere along the way, decisions were made, and there are consequences to decisions. If you thought for a second that I'm going to change my mind on how I feel about kids with guns, I'm not going to change my mind. As long as I'm the judge of this court, anytime kids have guns unsupervised by a responsible adult, I'm detaining them. That's not going to change. Yes.
Could I let Mr. Adler know if he could talk to me after?
Yeah, he can call you, Mr. Adler. You can call and talk to her while she's in her detention.
Judge, I'm not trying to hold up the detention hearings. Brianna, I will see you in person in the next couple of days. I don't want to talk on the phone. I'll come see you. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Adler.
Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Adler, is your last one or you got more?
That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
I know you have things in Dallas, so please feel free to go about your business.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Jeremiah Hash.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Hash, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days and have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. We've appointed Ms. Abels as your attorney. Ms. Abels, can you introduce yourself, please?
Jeremiah.
Okay, do you see Ms. Abels? Do you see her waving at you in the blue shirt?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you do have a right to remain silent, and you have a right to an attorney. You have a right to remain every 10 days while you're here. All right, Jeremiah, so you're 15 years old. See, you were previously brought here in June for unauthorized of a motor vehicle, which the DA gave deferred prosecution. Well, here's my question. So, Ms. Peters, did we not give him a UA when he got brought in here?
They just said that he denied it, so we haven't gotten one.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Hash, here's my thing. When a child denies or refuses to take the urinalysis, I just assume you're positive for everything. Weed, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, LSD, peyote, You name it. I'm assuming you're using it because why else would you be denying or refusing to take the test? All right, so going from here, you're on DPP and you're using drugs. So on October 15th, you're referred by Fort Worth PD. Ms. Peters, was it on 10, the same date? Do you know?
On 10, 15, 20. It was on the same day. It was
Okay.
early in the morning.
Early in the morning. Police ran a license plate through the NCIC, showed it to be a stolen vehicle. So they did a traffic stop, vehicle pulled over, and they did a felony stop. Driver of the vehicle was identified as Jeremiah Hash. And they confirmed this vehicle is stolen. There's one other passenger. Oh, that's the other one that refused a drug test. John Bazan. Okay, the owner of the vehicle was contacted. She made the scene, said nobody had permission to drive her car. So Jeremiah was placed under arrest for UUMD. So you're on DPP for a stolen car. You're in a stolen car with another kid who's on probation, which is also a violation of his probation. And let's see. Mom says there's no problems at home. On the day of this offense, Jeremiah was given permission to go to the skate park and come home. He's been obeying curfew. The only place that he goes is to the skate park. So, all right, so Mom, you're here?
Yes.
All right, so Mom, my question is, do you know how he ended up in the stolen car?
I really don't, and I'm still confused of how he got to it. Is it your friend's family, or you just decided to find some more keys?
Right.
Don't answer her.
Mom, what kind of drugs do you suspect him using?
Marijuana, if he is. That's what he used to do. And so if he is, that would be the one. And since he refused the drug test, I'm assuming he did.
Would you like us to give him a hair follicle test?
You can, but I mean,
would you
really,
like
it's probably just marijuana.
Would you like us to? Would you want to know if he's using anything else?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and give him a hair follicle test. And so that'll go back probably about 6 months.
Okay.
Keep using other things too. It's good for all of us to know.
Yeah.
You do what's best for your son. All right, so here's my thing is he just seems to be obsessed with other people's cars.
He has DDMD, which is a compulsive disorder type thing, which he's been to Millwood, which I plan to probably send him again. And he's been to the Excel Center twice, which is an outpatient, which if he goes to Millwood, if he don't go there, he'll probably go there.
Okay.
So
Mom, here's my problem. All right. This is a felony level offense, so I can't send him to TJJD. That used to be called TYC, right, which is basically prison for kids. And they would keep him there until he would be rehabilitated. So all his issues go away, so he stops reoffending. So it's simple. Like he can either be at home and stop taking people's cars, or he can go to TJJD all the way to his 19th birthday, and hopefully at that point he stops taking people's cars, right? So this is really up to your son, up to Jeremiah, you know, how this works out. So, has he been on electronic before, Ms. Peters?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, Mom, this is what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and keep him here for now. We'll get him to, because he has his mood disorder. Is he on medication right now?
he has medication, but he takes it very rarely.
Did you bring it with you?
Yes, I have him in the car.
Great.
Because I figured he was not coming home tonight.
Okay, well, I guess I'm consistent. So make sure, let's go ahead and give the prescription to Ms. Peters. He's going to have to take his medication
Yes.
as prescribed. And if he gets to
Now,
level
on
1.
the bottle, it says twice a day, but his doctor, because he wasn't taking it, they took him down to once a day.
Okay,
So,
so
do we need to get doctors to rewrite that?
well, what we can, I think Ms. Peters can do is we can call the doctor.
Okay.
They can tell us. Ms. Peters, is that correct?
Yeah, or they may not give the information to me. She might have to call the
Yeah.
doctor.
Oh, we can do it together.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, so we just want the prescription as the doctor's prescribing it. And so once he gets to level 1.0 and he holds it for 72 hours, I'm willing to let him go. Now, I'm gonna let you know, Jeremiah, you cannot get to level 1O unless you're taking your medication as prescribed. If you're refusing to take it, then you'll get hit some points. They'll dock some points away. So you've got to take your medication. And as long as you're behaving, then we'll go ahead and give you a chance to get out on electronic monitor. But if you're not going to behave here, then I know you're not going to behave at home. So there's no point in releasing you at home. Okay? So Jeremiah, I'm putting the ball in your court. It's your decision whether you're going to follow the rules or not. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Abel.
Judge, I think that's my last one.
Yep. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor, you would like the hair follicle test too?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
And then when it comes back, if it's positive, go ahead and get a DTA to me.
Okay.
Judge Kim, this is
Yes.
Richard Gladstone. I just got on late. Have you handled the case yet?
Yes, Mr. Berger pinch hit for you?
Okay, I just got the notice late.
No, not a problem at all. Is that the only thing you had today, Mr. Gladstone?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. Well, you're welcome to stay or you're welcome to leave.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we have Paris Heath. Are you Paris?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Paris. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days and have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Mr. Newman as your attorney. However, he is unable to make this court setting. And so Mr. Berger is going to go ahead and cover for your attorney. Mr. Berger, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, can you see me?
All right. Paris, can you see Mr. Berger? He's the one with the library, the books behind his head?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so Paris, you are 16 years old and you've never been here before. So, see, Everman PD brought you in. They're saying that yesterday about 1:30 in the afternoon, they responded to a domestic. They went with your mom, who said that you were upset when the Wi-Fi stopped working while you're doing your schoolwork. So you started damaging things around the house. Got into an argument with your mom and they started cussing at your mom. Then your mom slapped you in the face to discipline you. Then you continued to damage things in the house. Mom went to go help. When she came back, she tried to come in the house, but you were holding a large knife screaming, "This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted." So she was in fear of being cut or stabbed, did not go in the house. Then you locked her out of the house and started throwing things out the window. Police had to kick in the door and you're arrested. Is Mom here?
Yes, Your Honor. Father and the mother.
Okay. Is somebody in the, okay. Y'all mind in that the small courtroom, if you can angle that down, kind of the juvenile's parent text is blocking out their face. All right, oh, thank you very much. All right, so your mom and dad, are you all still together? Are you all separated?
We're divorced.
You're divorced, okay. Well, I'm very glad to see both of you here. So tell me what's going on with Paris. Is this a one-time deal or is this kind of escalating behavior?
Here recently, it's been escalating. I know a lot of her issue was, I have my 17-year-old son living there and she doesn't like it that he's there. It's her brother. But yesterday, I don't know why she flipped out, but she had went over to my sister's house and to my daughter's apartment.
Hold on 1 second, I'm gonna interrupt you. So the people who are just watching and observing, I'm gonna ask you to turn your cameras on. If you want to observe, you can go to YouTube. But otherwise, please turn your cameras on or I'm going to remove you from the Zoom session. Thank you. All right, Mom, so please continue.
And she was complaining that the Wi-Fi was messed up and she needed to do her schoolwork, but she hasn't been doing her schoolwork. She'll do it.
All right, Paris, this isn't your time to talk. All right, let her finish her sentence. So Mom, go ahead.
She'll do her work one day and then she'll go days without doing any of it. We did recently move from Arlington to Everman. And the first week I was waiting on registration. And when I finally got that situated, I went and picked up their Chromebooks, but she hasn't logged on to do any work for Everman. And
there's no Wi-Fi.
And you know what? I've heard enough. So mom, dad, I'm very glad you're here. I really don't like her attitude. And so if she's gonna have this attitude, she's just gonna stay here until she fixes her attitude, right? So we'll see her in 10 days and see what her attitude's like then. Give her a chance to fix it. So she can sit down. She can sit down. Why don't you bring her back here? Hey, security control. I know you didn't leave her in the room by yourself. All right, I need someone from JPD.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Yeah, well, hold on a second. Let me fix this first.
Hey, Judge Kim.
Yes, she needs to come back.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay. Yes, Dad.
Yes, sir. They recently moved, and as her mom was saying, her brother got a girlfriend that just had a newborn baby. Don't none of my girls get along with the girl. They tell me my baby girl don't even live with the mom. She stayed with her older sister right across the street. So from what I've been hearing, there's a bunch of tension between the brother and the girlfriend. So before this happened, they was in Arlington probably about not even a good month ago.
Look, I know I think you're overanalyzing this. I think her attitude sucks, right? I understand she's a 16-year-old girl and there's problems, you know, I mean, we're all changing. We all have attitude problems at that age, but this is really, really bad. And so I'm not really going to tolerate this. Stephanie, go ahead and put it from now on for Ms. Heath. We're only going to do in-person hearings. I'm not going to give her this opportunity anymore. At this point, I think we just need to bring her into the courtroom. So mom and dad, let's go ahead. I'm going to see. Mr. Berger, you are not, do we have any attorneys that are physically here in the courthouse today? Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and schedule this. If we can find an attorney that will physically be here. Well, no, actually, we don't need one because mom and dad are here. So, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have an in-person court proceeding on this detention hearing after the student session is done. All right, so mom, dad, if you want to step back in the waiting room and then we're gonna go ahead. All right, Paris, gonna let you know, you do not walk out on me. All right, this is a court proceeding. This is a process. I hope you understand that at this point, you are looking at up to 20 years in incarceration because of this. All right. So if you think it makes your situation better by walking out and disrespecting me like that on the person who decides whether or not you do 20 years in prison, then you are wrong. You need to understand that. You know, this is not your world. It's not like we're just living in it. It's not about you. It's about everyone else that you're affecting by your poor decisions. So we're going to go ahead and excuse you for now, and then we're going to have an in-person court proceeding where you can look me in the face and talk to me that way. All right, mom and dad, you can go ahead and wait in the waiting room. And we're going to take care of this. All right, so the next one is Jaylen Sparks. Paris, if you think you're still impressing me, you're wrong. Mr. Koye, please turn your camera on. All right, Priscilla Villa, please stop moving around. I don't know if you're in a Walmart or something, but all I see is ceiling.
You have to adjust your chairs to get open.
All right, this is still a court proceeding. All right, so Mr. Sparks. Are we on Jaylen Sparks? All right, Mr. Sparks, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Let's see, Mr. Adniji is your attorney. Did I see him earlier?
I showed up, Judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Adniji.
Good morning.
All right, so Mr. Sparks, you were brought in on a warrant from Judge Porter that you were supposed to go TYRC. And you left to ARC, so that's why we brought you in here. And let's see, that's back in May. Let's see what's more recent. Oh yeah, you're upset because your girlfriend refused to have sex with you. And so you brought other girls to fight your girlfriend. So, all right, so then you went, got a gun, pointed it at somebody's face. They believe that you were actually going to shoot them. Apartment people heard a gunshot and a photo lineup. And so we detained you. You were positive for weed. This is while you had a pending case. And then you're level 2. So not only do you get arrested for an offense involving a gun, now you're being detained. You're not even level 1-0. So I'm not going to let you go. All right, we'll see you in 10 days. Hopefully you get your level better.
Love you.
Felicia Willingham. Mom, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so Felicity. Is that you, Felicity?
She's here.
Okay. Hello, Felicity. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid gets brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. You are 14 years old, and you just turned 14 3 days ago. All right, so Ms. Nicoya is your attorney. Ms. Nicoya, can you introduce yourself so she sees you?
Hello, Felicity.
Okay, do you see your attorney? All right. Okay, so Felicity, you were here in June for evading arrest and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, which you were placed on probation for. Let's see. On October 4th, you left the house. Mom found out that you were having contact via Instagram with a young man that you had run away with before and you were not to have contact with. So the police found you at his home. So actually, I have a question. Ms. Castillo, did we not give her a drug test?
She was unable to provide a sample, Your Honor. I would also add for the court, I received a document a minute or two prior to coming into court of an outcry as well.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start this process. Mom is not here?
She indicated she would be. I don't see her, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and detain you. All right, Felicity. Ms. Marino is gonna come and talk to you, ask some questions. I need you to be forthcoming with her. If you're not open and honest and forthcoming with Ms. Marino or her staff, I'm just gonna keep you here, all right? I'm concerned about your safety, the safety of others. So it's really, if you wanna get out, we need to get a drug test from you to see what you're using. I'm gonna let you know, if you don't give us a drug test, we're just gonna take a hair sample. So we'll find out one way or another, all right? So it's easier just to give up a drug sample. And then when Ms. Marino comes and talks to you, sits down and talks, you need to be open and honest with you. If you're not, then that's just gonna make you stay here longer, all right? All right, thank you, Felicity. Did you have the victims sheets that they drop off to Judge Terry? Victims assistance? Can you ask Patrice to bring over the victims report for Terry's courtroom? All right, so we have Mohammed Ahmed. All right, Mr. Ahmed, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here 10 days, so I need to decide whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you get to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You've been here 10 days, you're level 2 outstanding, so you're not level 1, so I'm detaining you. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Victor Alvarado.
Judge,
Yes.
may I be excused from
Yes,
this?
thank you, Ms. Hopkins. Sorry, he made it simple for us.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
Oh, you too.
Donna, might be excused as well.
Yes, Ms. Nicoya. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Alvarado, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. Where is he? There he is. All right. You've been here for 10 days, so you get to see me, and I have to decide whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, then you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. So Victor, let's see, just turned 17. You're level 1 outstanding, which is good to see. Because you understand, if you drop below level 1, I'm going to house you downtown, right, at 17 years old. All right, so I need you to be an example for the other kids back here, a positive example. All right, so you're on probation for burglary of a habitation. And then, let's see. No, this is the one with the truck. That's right. According to the affidavit, victim and another male were walking when Victor identifies a shooter and the driver of a silver truck. And after being shot, both men ran to the victim's grandma's house, where one of the victims realized he was shot in the leg. Called to address, later identified the victim's grandmother's home. Other male that was present left before the police could get there. Interviewed by the police, they indicated they knew the driver of the truck because they went to the same school, could not identify the shooter. So police called the number and they got the name of Victor Alvarado as a driver. So the police told mom he was being investigated for shooting. The truck was towed and impounded. And then the mother told the police he was already arrested. And so he was in detention for I must see. I'm trying.
Your Honor, he had the offense that's listed first on the offense report is an out of custody that came in. This offense occurred on the same day as the murder charge, 2 hours prior the murder occurring.
So when did this? So we've already gone through this then, right? On the out of custody.
This is the first time he's appeared before the court for discuss the out of custody. That's
out of custody referral.
Yes.
All right, so then let's go back on the murder case. Police were dispatched for shooting. When they got there, they saw an unresponsive male who was a gunshot wound to the chest. Shooter left the scene, but they gave a description. And this is the one. Is this the one involving the basketball game?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's right. Out in the front yard, escalated, trying to go away. Somebody from a truck shot, and the gunshot victim died in the front yard. I think dragged into the kitchen, and then now evidently right before that there was another shooting involving you. So, all right. So Victor, here's the thing. On this case, I'm not going to release you. I believe you're a danger to the community as well as to yourself. All right. Now you've been here for a while on the murder charge. You're just now you're being held on the aggravated assault charge. I'm keeping you in our juvenile detention facility because of your age and the offense, nature of the offense. But tell you what, if you drop under level 1, I'm going to house you downtown. All right. So every day that you're here, you're earning your keep in our detention facility. Okay. All right. So I understand on this one, then. This is Mr. Youngblood.
Sir.
Did you get the additional discovery yet, or are you going to wait for that, or you need to wait for that as well?
I have not gotten the additional discovery on the aggravated assault case. I have talked to the detective, and that on that case, there's a self-defense issue.
Sure.
Even the police acknowledge. And
on the murder or the ag assault?
The ag assault, Your Honor. However, the murder case might have guns on both sides, some of which were then hidden after the murder victim was killed. And I think that the police acknowledge that's possible, but they certainly didn't find it.
Well, you got your work cut out for you.
Yes,
so
sir.
I guess
there's also the possibility of a certification. I talked to Mr. Boneberg. They're still thinking about it. I've forgotten if this is Mark's or Kevin's case, but Kevin's going to have to be involved in that decision.
Sure.
They have not made it yet.
Right. So Mr. Reed or Mr. Haynes, I don't know which one is taking notes on this one. Can we try and get the discovery for the ag assault as soon as possible? Because what I don't want to do is proceed on a trial on the murder, because that one's, Mr. Youngblood has had that case for a while, and this child's been here for 130 days. So when you kind of make some progress, I just kind of want to catch up and not wait for the discovery if we don't have to. Is that fair enough?
Yes, Judge.
Hey, y'all, honestly, y'all may not even have it yet. If you can just kind of do a check to make sure if you do have it to release it to Mr. Youngblood.
It could be on, it could have been released this week, because I haven't checked. But I'll check in a few minutes.
And it's
Also, his mother is very confused, well, not confused, concerned about the length of time this is taking. Of course, this has to do with COVID and not much else, but she may want to address the court.
All right, okay. Yeah, so of course, the state may not even, I recognize y'all may not even have the discovery yet. Just, if you can just check to make sure that what you do have is released. Mom, did you have a concern? I'm concerned. I don't want him here this long, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure your son gets a fair trial. And if I rush a trial just to keep him out of here, I don't want to take the risk of him being wrongfully convicted, right? And so, because this is so serious. So I'm kind of balancing the negative effects of being in detention versus the negative effects of not getting a fair trial, right? And trust me, I do not like kids here. I'll tell you what, on murder cases, really, the part where I really start pushing everyone hard is at about 6 months, right? At about 180 days. That's the part where I stop giving the attorneys excuses and say, we just need to go ahead and have this trial. If it's not like a murder case, usually it's about 4 months, okay?
I have a legal procedural question that's really court specific.
Sure.
The court appointed me an investigator recently. Can that investigator work on both cases?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And because they're different fact patterns, I expect you to come back and ask for more money quickly.
Probably.
Yeah, so I don't mind. Just go ahead and get that to us, and I'm happy to authorize additional funds.
I just didn't know if you wanted me to file another motion for the investigator on a different cause number.
No, just keep it on the more serious offense.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And that's going to take however long that takes too.
Right.
'Cause I have to get her the information, and then she has to go start talking to people who don't want to talk to her.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Mary Angeles Rios-Dorno.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Youngblood.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you too. All right. So she's level 3, so she can't waive. Oh, we are.
She's present.
All right. Mary Angeles, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You have a right to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. Actually, it's not a right. You're required to. And so it's been 10 days. And just want to review the case. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And your attorney is Mr. Brad Shaw. Is Mr. Shaw here?
He contacted me yesterday and said he wouldn't be able to make it today.
All right. So Mr. Berger is going to step in. Mr. Berger, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, can you see me?
Mary Angeles, can you see the man?
What?
Can you see the man with the books behind him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's Mr. Berger. He's going to be here as your attorney to make sure I don't trample over your rights. All right, so you were unsuccessfully discharged from placement from Iowa. You ran, commandeered a truck with a boat attached, and there was a police chase. You ran the truck and boat into a crop field. You were found to have violated terms of probation, ordered to complete residential treatment at Lake Granbury Youth Services. All right, so are we just waiting on bed at Lake Granbury?
Yes, sir. I talked to admin this morning. They said they just told me this morning they won't have a bed until the first week in November.
All right, so Ms. Alexander, what is she on probation for?
For assault on public servant.
You know what? Okay, and you said when does Lake Granbury expect to have?
No, they told me the first week in November. They didn't give me an actual date. They just said the first week in November.
First week of November. And when did Judge Porter modify her probation? October 1st?
October 1st, yes, sir.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Mary Angeles, I'm not gonna play around with you. You're level 3. That is, when I say unacceptable, I'm not saying that like a teacher talking to you, that's unacceptable. I'm telling you, I am not going to accept that, all right? So I have until November or October 31st to modify your probation, right? And now you can look at TJJD as an option. You've already had the hearing on the motion to modify. So if you don't get your act together and get to level 1, you're going to TJJD. All right, you're not getting Lake Granbury. You're not getting any other chances. I'm just done with you. So either get your act together and behave and do what you're supposed to do, or go to TJJD. It's that simple. Get your act together, young lady. All right, Juan Valenzuela. Yes, oh, we're done. I'm like, in my mind, I'm done with this girl. I'll give her a chance if she gets her behavior level up. Otherwise, I'm washing my hands. All right, Mr. Valenzuela, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days. So I'm reviewing a case. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And you have a right to have a hearing every 10 days while you're here. You're 17 years old. I'm glad you're level 1 outstanding, because you understand if you're not level 1 outstanding, I'm going to keep you downtown, right? Okay. So right now, let's see. Let me go over this. So in September, there was an adjudication disposition hearing, which was continued till November 2nd. Because on that day, you were given UA, you've tested positive for marijuana. So you had a pending case and you're smoking weed. So then it turns out that you were self-snitching on Instagram with drugs, money, and guns. And so, let's see, you were placed on DPP twice, for the second time back in April. So they filed a petition on July 24th, and that is for which offense?
Terroristic threat.
Terroristic threat, okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so October 12th, we were told by Fort Worth PD that you had a warrant for your arrest for an aggravated robbery. The warrant issued on September 16th. You know the date of that offense, alleged offense?
Your Honor, I sure don't know. The Detective Sims was supposed to send me most of that information, but all I got was the warrant, the copy of the warrant.
Well, the copy of the warrant should allege the date of the offense.
Let me see here. All it says is the signature was the 16th day of September. Let me see. There's no bag robbery.
It doesn't include the PC affidavit, Judge.
Oh, okay. Are y'all aware, Mr. Reed or Mr. Haynes?
I'm not, Your Honor.
I was made aware of the warrant by Mr. Landon, that it's now active.
Right. I mean, I just don't know if it's a warrant for an adult case or a juvenile case. That's my question.
It's my understanding it's for an offense committed after he turned 17.
All right, Mr. Landon, if you can ask the officer for the affidavit.
Yes, sir.
So at this point, Mr. Valenzuela, I'm detaining you. The thing is, if this is something that occurred after your 17th birthday, on or after your 17th birthday, then you have an adult case, which is a lot more serious than the juvenile case. You're looking at the 5 to 99 or life. So just let you know. So the terroristic threat here is not a big deal compared to that. So we'll find out, Mr. Landon. Yes, sir.
Aggravated robbery.
Yes. I don't know anything about it other than the Fort Worth PD is saying they have a warrant for you for aggravated robbery, and you can do life in prison for that. Okay. So I don't know anything else. I just know that Fort Worth PD is telling us you have a warrant. So I'm just going to hold off. I'm going to detain you for now, all right, because not knowing what's going on. But if it's an adult case, I'm going to let you know I'm probably inclined to go ahead and send you downtown, because you need to be able to be accessible to your attorney downtown instead of here at juvenile detention. Okay. So I'm not saying, all I know is for right now, I'm keeping you here, but I'm trying to get a little more evidence, a little more stuff to figure out what to do with the case. Okay. All right.
I'll get that information for you.
Yeah, if you get Detective Sims, just go ahead and send you a copy of that affidavit, and if you can bring that to me and let me know, and probably send a copy to Mr. Pearson as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That way he has it. I just don't want to see anything that Mr. Pearson hasn't had a chance to see.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
I beg your pardon?
May I be excused?
Oh, good. Yes, good to see you, Mr. Pearson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Ernesto Villa. All right, Mr. Villa, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, decide whether to let you go or keep you here. If I let you go, you have the right to see a judge. If I keep you here, you have a right to see a judge every 10 days. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Let's see. Judge Porter put you on probation for 1 year back in January. In February, you had a new offense out of Dallas County, so I released you on EM. 2 weeks later, you cut off your EM and left home without permission. 2 weeks later, you were found by Grand Prairie Police, taken into custody and brought back here. The next day, you appeared before Judge Porter. Judge Porter asked you to be detained. 2 weeks later, you went in front of Judge Porter. He detained you again. 2 weeks later, you came before Judge Porter for a 10-day, released you on electronic monitor. 3 weeks later, you cut off your EM and left home without permission. And then a couple days later, you came back home. Arlington Police picked you up. So it took you to JPS, Coach Children. Let's see. So I guess you have high medical supervision needs. So we rescinded the directive to apprehend the warrant for you. Then mom says you're high and cussing and threatening her. And then we issued a warrant. Brought him back here. See, detention, refused to take you due to your medical condition. ER was able to stabilize you. So, but we kept the warrant for you. And you were brought here with discharge paperwork. So back in July, I did a detention hearing. Your attorney, district attorney, I ordered you detained and then try to get CPS referral. Psychological evaluation, 10-day hearing, 10-day hearing, 10-day hearing. And we're looking for placement. So you're here for felony theft in person in unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. All right, Mr. Jennings, where are we on the placement search?
Your Honor, we're still in a placement. We're still looking for a placement. The first place was denied. Our placement unit is continuing to look. Our secondary option was through MHMAR's IDD HSC diversion program. I looked into that as well. Unfortunately, there's a 14-year wait for that, so that's no longer an option either.
I must have misheard you because it sounded like you said 14-year wait.
That was a secondary program. If our department was not able to place him, we were also trying to place him through MHMAR's IDD service. That was, I looked into that as well, and unfortunately that is not going to be an option. Hopefully our department will be able to find a placement. It's due to his runaway behavior and his medical condition. We are finding some challenges, but they are still actively looking for a placement.
How long have y'all been looking?
They started looking October 2nd, I believe, is when Judge Porter officially authorized it, and that's when our placement department started looking.
Stephanie, do we have a set? Do you know if we have a setting on him? Mr. Jennings, do we actually have a modification setting for him?
I looked this morning, it had not been reset. On October 2nd, Judge Porter had asked when we would need, and he had planned on asking for it to be, or setting it for late October, but as of this time, I haven't seen it yet.
So, Stephanie, go ahead and set this for final hearing on modification 2 weeks. That gives placement 2 more weeks to find a place. If there's not a place, then there's not a place. But we need to take care of this. All right. He's been here for 84 days, 86 days. We can get to 100 days. And if placement can't find a place, then I don't want to waste anybody's time. All right.
Yes, sir.
And Ernesto, I hope you understand what this means. What this means is the other option if there can't be placement is TJJD. Okay. And we just need to get to that point. But I don't want you sitting here without any kind of help, any kind of treatment, counseling, any kind of services. So we need to find a place for you. If we can't find a third party, then that's what TJJD is for. Okay? All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Kyra, Wyatt. Do you need something? We're just going to bring that girl in person after. Chris, Heath. Yeah, the clown hair. Ronald McDonald.
So she's under 40 right now. She's a new addition. That's not to say we can't bring her, but we'll be bringing her in full guard.
Yep, that's fine. She'll just stay in that box.
And then we'll keep her in mechanical.
Keep, I'm sorry?
Oh, we'll put her in mechanical restraint.
Oh, I expect it.
Okay.
But yeah, if we just that chair, she can come in and sit in that chair. Just have it that way. All right, thank you. All right, so we're waiting on Miss Wyatt. Oh wait, she's under 14. No, I didn't know that. They didn't mark this on this list. So.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, you might wanna turn that live off.
Hold on a second. All right, so at this point, under Texas Family Code, Chapter 5408, the court proceedings regarding children under 14 are closed to the public unless the court makes a finding otherwise. I'm not unable to make a finding that the interest of the public or the child would be better served by conducting these proceedings to the public, so I'm going to discontinue the live stream from public view. Remember, no portion of this court proceeding may be recorded, published, or copied. Violations are punishable by contempt.